freely suspended load, right? If you're not doing that, then load chart means nothing. Well, the barge, we're going to see it. When you pick something up over the side, the barge is going to tilt towards the weight. As soon as you pick it up, the center of gravity immediately shifts to its new position, including that weight stuck way out there in the boom. So you got to account for that. There's two things that get you on that. And the first one we'll talk about is the actual load chart itself. So if you can imagine that barge picking up something real heavy over the side, it's going to list over towards that weight. And what is that going to do to the crane itself? Well, it increases your radius, right? Because the boom swings down, your load goes away from you, so you have to be really aware of what your radius really is. So if you tape it off and it's 51 feet, weighs 20,000 pounds, you pick it up, you might be out there 26 feet by the time it gets settled. So you got to make sure you don't break it like that. And the other thing, imagine that load picked up, and we'll show it to you, and it swings around, now all of a sudden the barge is leaning and it's trimmed over. So if the load is leaning that way, it's leaning this way. So what is the boom really doing over the corners of the barge? It's sideways. So you're side loading the boom, which is a big no-no, as you all know. That's not a freely suspended load, but the crane is not level. So they make these things called barge charts for that. And what the barge chart does is they figure out, well, how much is the crane weakened by 1 degree of list on the crane itself, 2 degrees, or 3 degrees. That's all they make it for. So you enter the barge chart, there's a 0 degree one, 1 degree, 2, and 3 degrees. And you think the 0 degree one would be just like the regular load chart. It's not. The load chart is at 110 foot of boom and 50 feet on concrete level is good for 23,600 pounds. If you go to the barge chart, it's 0 degrees list, 16.9. So they derate it by 25% right off the bat. 1 degree of list is down to 16,000. 2 degrees of list, 15,000. 3 degrees of list, you're down to 14,000. You go 23,000, 14,000, 3 degrees of list. And that's so they're recognizing that boom is side loaded. You gotta be careful with that. That's the other big thing you gotta work on. Just checking the chains too, I didn't talk about that, but the law requires you to have the crane secured to the barge. Doesn't tell you how strong it has to be, what it has to be rated. But we've got it pretty good. You turn the, you'll never turn the barge over. Realistically, that won't hold her if you get way over it. It keeps her slides. Yeah, it keeps her from sliding. And you got to be careful walking towards you forget about them because you tear them off the ground. The other problem you got on a barge is, let's say, imagine we have a 15,000 pound pile hammer right there. As soon as he picks that up, you just talk about what's going to happen. Center of gravity shifts, the barge is going to roll. What is that thing going to do? It's going to go away from you. So if you're standing on the other side of it, you get perfectly spotted over that, like you push two on the dock here. He picks it up, takes load, that thing will move 5 feet that way, and if you hit something else, you're dead. So you have to anticipate that a little bit by doing two things. One, you kind of get experience at it, and you boom him up higher, a little bit higher than you think he's going to be. So as he takes the load, and the barge goes over, you spot it correctly. And the other thing is you don't stand on the far side of the load when you're doing that. Between that and some of the rocks, because it's going to shift. You can't ever get it perfect. And the heavier the object is, the worse that is. If we've got another crane of 3,900, you're picking up something that's 50,000 pounds, you don't get it perfect. And as soon as you pick it up, that thing's going to move on. And that doesn't matter if it's on the barge deck or on the dock. The same thing happens. The barge tilts over, the load's going to move on.
Never put yourself in a pinch zone.
Absolutely. On either side of it.
Anywhere around the road.
Anticipate it too much. You boom him up too much when he picks it up, what's going to come at it? You need to be away from that load when it picks up. It's going to go one way or the other, towards the train or away from it. You don't have to slide it right. That really comes into play unloading the truck. Like you back the truck up here with a pile hammer on it, you grab a hold of the thing, and as soon as it picks it up, that load's probably going to go one way or the other. So you got to be off, out of the way so you don't get thrown off the truck. So what he's going to do after he gets you started up, we'll pick that, we don't have anything real heavy, we'll pick that air compressor up, and we'll swing over the side and boom it down pretty far, and roll it over, and you can see what the barge will do, just that little bit of load on it. Another thing you have to consider with these cranes, this one is really good. This is a perfect barge crane right here, it's a 2900, because the center of gravity of the machine is really close to the center pin. So if you roll the crane around, not a lot happens. But if you guys have some 3900 truck cranes, I noticed, we've got a 3900 crawler. Her center of gravity is about 6 feet after the 5 feet after, 4.5 feet after the center pin. And that counterweight's heavy. That's a close to 300,000 pound machine. So when you swing her around with no load on it, you know, the barge will go 1 or 2 degrees, depending on how wide the barge big things that'll get you in trouble in there. I mean, you gotta be on the correct load chart. You gotta really watch when you're gonna heavy loads because they're gonna shift. And it's very confined to the deck of the barge. It's just not room. It's not very much room. Other little lower weight, other little oddball rules is all Manitowoc cranes, and I think every other crane, you can't have a jib on the boat. They don't make barge cars with jibs. The jibs are so weak, side loading wise.